Right, good morning everyone. Dan the Glass Man here, watching the Glass Man's World. And today we're going to be working on some hot air balloons. So I have a whole bunch of balloons that I've been working on. Well, not a whole bunch, but we're getting it started. We got a few more weeks until Balloon Fiesta. Usually what happens is I get custom orders during this time to make a whole bunch of these really cool hot air balloons. So we'll make some of these. I do believe I have one. I'm not sure if I set it aside or not. That had a 50 written on it. And now I don't know where I put it. I thought I set it to the side. It could be in the bag. The bag with all the other balloons that I've made recently. So good morning. I was going to try to get started a lot earlier, about 6 o'clock or so. It's now 7:30. Wow, it's already 7:30. Okay. So it's 7:30 in the morning. We're going to definitely need more glass. Let me get another rod out real quick. Get our handy Norwex optic cloth. It's good for your glasses. And because it's good for your glasses and your laptops and your tablets, your notebooks, your cell phones, all of that, because it's good for your glass, it's good for your glass. Alright, so we're going to cut this in half right here. And we're going to get started for the day. So those of you who don't know, I'm Dan the Glass Man, and this is the Glass Man's World. So welcome, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I've been blowing glass since 1995. So since the summer of 95. So it is now officially 27 years that I've been blowing glass. I created the entity Gardeno Glass, which basically that's just my last name. Gardeno Glass. So that's been established since 1995, and in those times, I started out making jewelry, making some really simple pendants, necklaces type things, making mushroom pendants, making flower pendants, spiral pendants, making little critters like turtles and dolphins and different things like that. And, then working my way up into other items such as smoking accessories and things like that, which it's really awesome because now here in Albuquerque, well, here in New Mexico, it's now recreational, so we can smoke, we can partake. If you'd like to join me this morning in a wake and bake smoke session, you're welcome to do so. Or whenever you watch this, later on in the day, after it's been published and put onto the YouTubes, into the YouTubes. So how y'all doing today? I've only got a few hundred subscribers so far, working towards that first 1K. I tried to push 1K by May, that didn't happen. So we're going to try to push 1K by 23. By 2023. 1K by 2023. So, Balloon Fiesta is coming up. Albuquerque, New Mexico is known for the International Balloon Fiesta, where people travel from all over the world, different parts of the globe. They come here to get all balloony with the rest of us. So I'm a balloonatic. Many of us are balloonatics. We love to go ballooning. I crew for a balloon for Rick Jones and his balloon Polar Dawn, which I should see if I have a card, and that way I can show you what Polar Dawn looks like. Let me take a quick peek here. They have one. This is my balloon card bag. I think it's empty. Yeah, I got no more balloon cards. All right, well maybe not today. I know I've got balloon cards somewhere in a box or something somewhere. I haven't pulled them out in a while, so it could be down there. Okay. Just check it out. It's called Polar Dawn Balloon. On Facebook, Facebook groups, you can find us on Polar Dawn Balloon Facebook group. So check that out. So every year, I crew for Rick Jones and Polar Dawn Balloon. And Polar Dawn Balloon goes up for Dawn Patrol. So those of you who know about the Balloon Fiesta, then you probably know about Dawn Patrol. Now, those of you who don't know what Dawn Patrol is, it's the first liftoff of balloons in the morning. And these balloons, they basically are the guinea pigs to flying the conditions of the day and seeing what everything's like. So Dawn Patrol balloons are some of the best, and they have to know what they're doing. So what happens is we wake up before the butt crack of dawn, and we meet with our pilot at his hotel early in the morning. We got to get there by 4 o'clock because he rolls out at 4:20. And no, he doesn't smoke or anything like that. It's not for that. He just leaves at 4:20 because that's how much time it takes for us to get onto the field and for us to be able to actually get down there in the line. There's so many other balloonists out during the mornings and others that are trying to get on the field. So we got to get ourselves positioned onto the field before the other balloons get there because we are 1 hour before everyone else. So they do these, I forget what they call it, but they fly the balloons in sections. So Dawn Patrol leaves like from the middle of the field, and then we take off and we leave, and then the balloons come in right after we take off. We pack up and we go chase the balloon, and then other balloon crews come in, other balloon teams come in and set up right where we took off from. So there's at least different waves. That's what they call it. So they take off in different waves, and we're on the field by 5 a.m. So that's why we got to leave at 4:20 in the morning from the hotel. We're on the field by 5 a.m. and unloading, ready to go, ready to fly at 6. If we get the word, if we get the signal that it's all good to fly for Dawn Patrol. Now, sometimes it's all good to fly, or you can choose to fly. So some pilots are good enough and confident enough to know that even in the most trickiest of weather pattern situations, that they will still choose to fly, and Rick Jones is one of those pilots. And then if you're cleared to fly, then you take off. The balloon leaves. All the equipment on the balloon goes with the balloon. Pilot goes too. You make sure that you have the keys. That's one of the most important things. Making sure you have the keys, the pilot's keys, or you ain't you ain't gonna be able to get into the chase vehicles. Or you make sure you know where the extra spare keys are. So then you pack up everything that you don't take with you. So we got like a fan, we got cones for blocking off the crowds, straps, different other equipment. All our lights, our gloves, everything that we have. We make sure we load it all up, get everyone into the van, and then we have to escort the van through the crowd. So this is Balloon Fiesta, where there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of individuals out on the field, and we have to maneuver through, dozens at a time. Every second we're going through a new dozen individuals, and so we have to basically escort the chase vehicle out onto the road until finally it's clear enough to where we can all hop back in, which is usually at the end of the field, right at the very end where there's hardly any people traffic, and then that's when we all jump in the van or the chase vehicle, and then we have walkie-talkies. We're already in communication at the time with the pilot Rick Jones, letting us know what he's feeling already up there, whether we're going to be traveling east, west, north, south, whether we should just chill and stay put and then wait to see what the wind conditions are like, because we take off at 6 o'clock in the morning, right? This is exactly when the sun is coming up. And I don't know if you guys are ever up that early, if you've ever gone camping, if you know, but they're right before sunset or sunrise, right? So right at dawn, right when the sun comes up. Excuse me. So right when the sun comes up, that heat from the sun pushes that cold air from the atmosphere down, right? So the sun comes up and it forces that, it's like that heat, this is pushing all that cold air out. And the cold air, usually stays low, hot air rises, and then the atmosphere around the sun, all that heat, it just like pushes that cold air out of the way. And so that cold gets pushed down and onto the field. And so, when that happens, there's different thermals. There's, you have heat rising, you have cold pressures getting pushed down. You also have the winds kicking in, and so the wind directions will change on you right away, especially during those times. So you have to kind of wait until the sun is up over the Sandia Mountains. So then you can really start to feel what the balloon is doing as a pilot. I picked up on this, Rick. I don't know if you know this. And so, I've been crewing for Rick for, I don't know, this is going to be like 7 years now. I mean, I think he's 10? I don't know. I might have started doing this when my daughter was a baby. She's now 10 years old. So, it's been a really long time. I don't know if she was 1 or 2 at the time. It could be, 7, 8 years now that I've been crewing for Rick. It's amazing how time flies, which is what the Balloon Fiesta was themed last year, Time Flies, which is really cool. So this year is a huge deal. It's the 50-year anniversary of Balloon Fiesta. So it started way back in 1972 at the Coronado Mall, which is just right up the street from us. And the Balloon Fiesta 50-year anniversary should be huge. there were I believe 13. Don't I could be wrong there, but I do believe there were 13 original balloons that went up. I believe that it had to do with a radio station promotion and maybe a car dealership promotion, if I'm not mistaken. And some individuals had some ties, some connections, and they decided, and they had a balloon, and they decided, hey, let's make a spectacle and take these things up and bring the radio station and get the people something to really, really check out. And so that's how the first year, I believe, started. Now, I could be wrong on all that, but I do believe that the radio station was involved, and I'm pretty sure, but not 100%, that it had to do with the car dealership and promoting them or something like that. And I think maybe that, yeah, I think the car dealer, he was the one who owned the balloon. And he had some friends that used to just fly balloons. They had their own little rallies back then. And they'd go flying, and they came together in 1972. And that was the first ever balloon fiesta. But then they officially went, a year or two later, they went to the fair, or the balloon fiesta grounds, which the original grounds is south of where they take off now. It used to be just in that dirt lot right across the street where I think it's RV parking now. So I guess you guys are getting a little bit of balloon history this morning as we're making these balloons. And so yeah, the Balloon Fest has been going on for 50 years now, guys, and it's come a long way. And that field there, being a water protector, I do know that we use a lot of water for keeping that field. And I know on the off seasons it is a golf course, which golf courses are notorious for taking a lot of our water supply, which is our drinking water. So I know that this isn't a very water protector, water friendly event. So I do apologize for that, but at the same time, we have to live in a way where sometimes we're using a lot more water and a lot more resources than we really need, and it's good to really actually pay attention to those things and try to figure out, well, what else could we do? We're going to have a field of grass that's going to be well kept all year round. I do believe that they use it for other events throughout the year, so that's good that it's not just for Balloon Fiesta and not for just a couple of golfers. So that's one thing that's good about that. It's having a multiple use place like that, where people can utilize that grass as best they can, and it's not just a one-off event kind of thing. All right, so let's get back to Balloon Fiesta. So, dawn patrol, like I was saying, we take off at 6 a.m. And that's if we get a clearing. So a couple years ago, I don't remember exactly when, but you guys might remember. It might have been before all of the shutdowns, actually. Because I don't think it was last year. I think it was like several years ago, like probably in 2018, 2019, maybe 2019. And then we went up in the morning, but there were there's like about a dozen, I think like 12 balloons that are part of Dawn Patrol. So this is the special balloons, these are like the pros of the pros, I guess, or they're just the ones that are crazy enough to wake up, before the butt crack of dawn. I don't really know how Dawn Patrol pilots get chosen, but I do know that you gotta have your skills on point, because you're flying in the dark, you take off in the dark, but then you land in the light, so that's really cool. But you gotta know what you're doing, you gotta know your surroundings, you gotta be, I would say you have to be experienced in Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta that you had to have flown into this region, Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, for many, many years. So that way you know the layout of the land, basically. So you know where all the power lines are, all the really tall towers, the airplane warning towers, those big red towers with the flashing red lights to let the elevation towers basically let people know where the lowest, pilots know where the lowest elevation is. So they have to fly over those lights in order to clear, like, to clear the mountains or to clear whatever they need to clear. So, when we take off, it's really fun because then we get to go chase. And, let me finish telling you this story. So, a couple years back, it was the opening day, Saturday morning, right? Dawn Patrol were there bright and early, ready to go. No time to go get food at the hospitality tent. That's the one thing that sucks about being part of Dawn Patrol is we have to take off so quickly. We don't have all that extra time of waiting and waiting for Dawn Patrol to take off to see what the flying conditions are, because we are Dawn Patrol. So we don't get to have extra time really to go down, grab them free donuts from Krispy Kreme, or get all the juice or the milk or the oatmeal, or sometimes they make green chili stew in the morning. They got breakfast burritos, which those breakfast burritos come in handy because they're wrapped up in foil and you can just throw one or two in your pocket and then go. And they don't mind you grabbing a whole bunch. I mean, they got way too much at the end of the week. They're like, please take more, take it all. So yeah, we took off that morning, and only, I believe, six out of 12 Dawn Patrol balloons decided they chose to fly, which was so crazy because, that's half of them that decided, hey, let's bring in the live chat here, just in case anyone's chatting, and I guess I could also bring in our video here, and I could read some comments if they do come through. So I'm not new at YouTube, but I'm just barely getting started with really pushing for subscribers and trying to really get the content out there, and really, really trying to build up my following, my fan base here, and my friends, my brothers, my sisters here, and basically just, invite y'all into my world here. So this is my working world. This is what I do for a living, which is really cool because I can't really say this is much of a job, although it pays a lot of the bills, pays some bills, which is good. Alright, so I'm going to bring that live chat up here, and I'll be able to actually read some comments if you guys are commenting here. So back to the story. So 6 out of 12 balloons decide to go up, right? And I get to fly that morning with Rick. So I jump into the gondola. The gondola is the basket that holds the pilot and whoever else is flying. And so I jump into the gondola, and we take off. And I know that there's clouds rolling in. You can see that there's a little bit of clouds, and it's okay to fly in the rain. There's nothing wrong or too bad with that. But what happened was that morning, it wasn't the rains, it was actually the fog was rolling in. So as soon as we lifted off, they grounded everyone else. and it became a no-fly morning. So we went from a flying morning to a no-fly morning, and we were already up in the air. And so at that point, we're just enjoying our time. And he lets me know, that everyone else has been grounded. We're the only few balloons that are going to be up in the air. The clouds are going to be rolling in. He's letting me know that we got to try to stay under the the cloud line and the fog, which that's kind of hard to do. Also, it's the morning of opening ceremony, guys, and usually in the morning they do the national anthem, and during the national anthem they have a flyover with the Blue Angels that fly over here, or I don't know if it's the Blue Angels, maybe it's just some of the pilots here from the Air Force Base nearby, Kerwin Air Force Base, and they usually do a flyover, right? And they have like these trails of color coming off their tails, and my pilot informed me that he's all, we're like basically flying underneath this thick fog right here, and they're gonna be flying like right over it or right through it. Neither one of us are gonna be able to see each other. Hopefully, our instruments, our digital readers, all of to read the altimeter and our height, how high we're flying, our altitude. And well, hopefully, all our instruments are collaborated properly, and their instruments are collaborated properly to where everyone's getting a perfect reading, and they know that they have to fly above us at this much distance, and hopefully they will clear us with that much distance. And I was like, okay, like, wow. It was pretty intense because you could hear them coming. You can hear those jets, but you don't really hear them coming until they're right on you. That sound barrier, like, it follows them. So they like fly over, you kind of hear them coming, but then as soon as they're over you, you hear this roar, it's so crazy, so loud and thunderous. And like, okay, all clear, we're still alive, good job, all right. And then we just enjoyed it. And that morning, with that fog rolling in, the sun coming up over the Sandias, it was one of the most spectacular, beautiful flights that I have ever been on. I don't know if there's any other flight that could ever top that. Like now I'm just like, just let other people go up and enjoy it. Like I don't think we can ever top that flight. The takeoff was beautiful, flying upwards, like towards the clouds, kind of skimming just right up in the clouds, being able to see the clouds rolling in, and that fog just hugging the mountains. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean by that, but it's like when those clouds they're just like right on top of the mountains and kind of just like hugging into the canyons, and just embracing the mountain entirely. And so and then with the sun coming out, you're getting like the super white, like super bright white clouds on top of this dark silhouette of a mountain, because the sun is coming up behind it. That it's just, I don't know, it's just so spectacular. It's stunning. I can't even put it into words, but fortunately, it was all filmed live. I don't know if I've uploaded it to this channel here, The Glassman's World, or if it's only on Facebook. But I will be sure to include that on these videos here as soon as I can, if it's not. But check out my videos and see if you can find it. There might be a couple different flights too, so I don't know. Alright. So, yeah, that morning was amazing. And then, the clouds are, it's rolling through. We're flying. We're enjoying a beautiful flight, right? We're headed up. Usually, we get pushed kind of down south. And when we land in a southward direction. But with the storm coming through and the fog, the wind currents are getting pushed in different directions. So we're actually heading north over to Sandia Indian Reservation. We got to fly up over that because you're not allowed to land there. Well, if you do, it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of money, a lot of fines. We're landing on the native Indian reservation there, Sandia Pueblo, which is fine. I completely understand that. And so it's also, if you land on federal land, landing on the airport or flying over the airport, I think that's also a lot of paperwork and a lot of fines and stuff like that. So we're headed north, went past the Sandia Pueblo Reservation, and we get a town called Bernalillo, which is up there. Bernaleño. So Bernalillo is just right alongside the freeway, so we can see the freeway there. We can see the traffic. There's a couple of buildings that are right there, some really big like factory buildings, industrial kind of buildings. And the pilot tells me, he's like, okay, he always calls me Daniel. He doesn't call me Dan. So he's like, okay, Daniel, get ready, turn your phone off, put your phone down. That's one of the first things he always tells me. He's get ready, hold on, make sure that when we come down, we're gonna bend at the knees. And today is gonna be a little bit of a rough land. As soon as we land, I need you to get the top line, I forget what it's called. It's the crest line, the top. It's the balloon. It's a rope basically that's tied up to the top of the balloon, and then it dangles down. So from the top, it dangles down to underneath the balloon. So it sits in the little crease on the side while we're flying, and it's hooked up to like the gondola. But then when we land, we got to unhook that. So it's got a little carabiner. You unhook it, and then I have to go running it out. Or if it's an okay landing, and the crew, the chase crew is there, then they'll come out and they'll grab that line and run it out. Now today we lost our chase crew because we had to fly over the reservation. They couldn't really get through in that area as easy. I think they had to like get onto the freeway. They had to, double back around, go south, and then come back up, and finally figure out how to get into Bernalillo and then to those side roads where those like industrial buildings are, and figure out where we were, like on these little side roads. So when we came down, we're like above this huge, I don't know, 50, 70 foot tall building, I guess. I'm assuming. I'm not really sure. It's huge. It's one of those big factory buildings, right? And he's warning me, okay, get ready to bend your knees, be prepared, put your phone down, put it in your pocket, whatever, put it wherever, just put your phone away, shut it off. We're about to land get ready to jump out and run with the line. I'm going to need you to run out in this direction because he's telling me, the winds are pushing us this way. So I'm going to have to run in the same direction the winds are going to bring that balloon down because the winds are going to help to lay it down, right? Now, when we come down, we're basically like flying high, right? We're coming up really high. And then all of a sudden, the end of the building's right here, right? So we're coming like this. Then all of a sudden, he opens up the top of the balloon, and we just start, boom, just dropping right at on the other side of the building. We land. Basically, it felt like jumping off a roof, And at my age, that ain't too fun on the legs and the knees, right? And we come down, boom, land hard. The basket hit and the balloon because of the winds. We land in a bunch of I guess dirt, sand, with a bunch of like this chorizo sagebrush. Um, there's cactus all around. Not the big saguaro cactus, but the little tiny cactuses that we got that are just popped up, just enough to grab your ankle if you don't see it. And then we got a couple of the little the cholla cactus, which are kind of tall. They're about yay tall, whatever. So you want to make sure you don't run into those things, right? So as soon as I land, my legs are already like done. They're like giving out, right? Because we just jumped off a roof basically, and then I gotta grab this line so I can go run it, right, through this field in the open desert. And it's also in civilization where there's other things going on. So we land on a fence that was down that had a barbed wire. So luckily we landed on that with the basket and not landing before it and putting our balloon down onto it. So that was fortunate. Also, there's a fencing posts and poles. And usually when people set their fence posts, they have a nice little chunk of cement on the bottom of it to weigh it down and to anchor it into the earth, right? And so one of these old fence posts that used to hold up this thing was basically sticking out the ground like this. There's just like this crazy pole that's sticking out, but it had this huge weight of cement. So I'm running. My legs are tired. And I'm already just burnt out. My legs are done from landing. We go running across sagebrush, trying not to land on cactus, jumping over, running in soft sand. So your feet's getting sunk in. I see this thing sticking out the ground. As I run by, I grab it with one hand. I'm holding the rope with the other. And I somehow just grab it with one arm and chuck it off to the side because I know that thing is sticking up. I got to chuck it to where it lays down flat and out away because the balloon's about to come down on it. The envelope's about to get stabbed basically with this crazy thing sticking out the earth. So I somehow flail it. I'm running with the rope, and I'm trying to pull it down as best I can. I see the van is barely pulling up towards the field there. They're just barely getting there. They didn't make it. I'm running it out. Rick is in the gondola still. The gondola lays down on its side as the balloon also lays down, and I run it out, run. It's just landing on top of brush and cactus and whatever, but those things are, I guess, okay. It's, the big things that you don't want to have stabbed and punctured. And, yeah, it was a crazy, wonderful experience. From liftoff early in the morning with Dawn Patrol, being 6 of only 12 balloons, and it could have been less. It could have been like 4 or 5, but I'm going to say half of us went up that morning. That was, I think, 2019, maybe 2018. So there was only 6 of us that went up on opening day, Saturday. The fog rolled in. It was such a beautiful morning. You know, seeing the river from above and those clouds rolling in, seeing the clouds coming in from the west side as it just covers all of the west side and Corrales and moving over the river and then heading towards the mountains. And we're just flying, you know, right in it with it. And then the landing, you know, it was a very exciting landing. Tiring too, maybe a little rough, and that's why he took me up, because he knew that I could actually be able to take that landing and run with it. But I don't know how much longer my body's going to be able to handle that kind of stuff, Rick. I'm getting old. I'm pushing 50 here. 46, almost 47. That's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. But yeah, I can't wait. It starts October 1st, the first Saturday of October. That was the first weekend. So right now is the state fair. So I took you guys out on a bike ride yesterday. I'm sorry for the shoddy camera work and the bouncing and everything, but if you do check it out, there are some really good clips where I do stop and I park the bike for a moment. We get to see the parade a little bit better that way. Also, Mark Ronchetti, who's running for governor, which I know he's not a very popular candidate, but neither is Michelle Lujan Grisham, who is the one who's already governor now, and they're trying to get 4 more years, and we're like, please no, anyone else but her. So, and I don't know, Mark, I have no idea if he would be good in politics or not. You know, he's a weatherman, from what I know. But I got to, he was running by, he was introducing himself, shaking hands with people, saying hello. He was doing a really good campaign endorsement promotion there at the parade. And as he was walking by, running by, shaking hands, I just yelled out, pointed out to him, I said, "Save our water." And he turned around and he said, "I will." And he came around, he turned around and he came to shake my hand. And I introduced myself. I'm like, "Hey, I'm Dan the Glass Man." And I don't know if he was just joking, but I think he was, you know, just when someone says something like that, he was quick with it. And he was like, "Your reputation precedes you." He has no idea who I am, and that actually it does. But I him, I was like, you know, back in 1997, he interviewed me, blowing glass on Channel 7 News, when you were doing the weather, and I was making a Christmas ornament. Live on Channel 7 in the morning segment. I don't have a segment of that. I wish I could get footage of that. That would be really cool. But I don't have footage of that. Maybe we could find it sometime. I don't know how you could go back to the archives. Maybe I could just get a hold of Channel 7 and ask them. It would be really cool, actually. So yeah, it was really cool. And he remembered that. He remembered interviewing me and everything. And he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "You know what? I totally get it. As a meteorologist, I understand precipitation and that we need water and we're lacking water right now. It's a big situation and we need to put a stop to it right now." So I don't know what any one man or one person can actually do, though. That's the thing. Because I don't really know what one person can actually do. But, you know, if he does do anything for water, I will jump on board and help him out with it. If you become governor. I didn't want to say it yesterday. I was like, I don't know, like, would he make a good governor. Like, so I was just like, if you become, if it happens, but yeah, if you become governor, Governor Ron Petty, huh? That'd be interesting. But yeah, you can see that on the parade video yesterday. It's like towards the end, like really, really towards the end. I think I put a fisheye lens on at that point, and then my strap is in the way. So that portion of the video, you can see me speaking with Mark Ronchetti there. So I try to do that for the Glassman's world. It's basically just, I'm bringing you my world. This is the stuff that happens. So I don't know why we started talking about that. Because we were talking about Balloon Fiesta. And I started talking about the video that I made yesterday for some reason. Now you can capture it and find the parade. But either way, so Balloon Fiesta is coming up really soon, guys. Oh, I was just saying that the state fair happens, and then 2 weeks after the state fair, so the state fair is happening now. Um, and it goes on for what, like a week, week and a half, like 10 days or something like that, from weekend to weekend, starting on Thursday, ending on like Saturday or Sunday, I think. So then after state fair, then we all get prepared for Balloon Fiesta. So I got a couple weeks now to make as many of these balloons. And these are just the generic balloons that I'm making right now, guys. What happens is once I get out there on the field, after we go chase and help bring the balloon down and pack it all up, put it all loaded back up into the chase van, we all come back to the field. So then all the different balloonies, all the different crews can hang out. We have like tailgate parties. We go join some of Rick's friends with now our friends down there at row J5, usually around that area. We normally take off from row M, like M3, M2, like me too, M2. And so we take off from there right in front of the main stage in the center of the Balloon Fiesta. And then when we come back, we're usually hanging out about row J, except on competition days, and then we get pushed to a different area. Sometimes we'll go hang out with Jonathan Wolf and the Infinitude balloon, which is the amazing fractal balloon. Looks like Buddha. It's the Mandelbrot fractal, and they call it Infinitude, which means infinite gratitude. Infinitude. Infinite gratitude. So sometimes we'll go hang out with Jonathan Wolf and that crew, and those are a lot of our friends from like Cosmic Family, Cosmic Trading Post, Three-Sided Hole. So that's some of our Cosmic family right there. And of course, they would have the fractal balloon, right? Infinitude. So it's a lot of fun being a part of a crew during the week, hanging out. I would love to be able to just hang out all day if I could, so that way I could be there from morning to night. But it's hard if Serena, my wife, doesn't have a caretaker here during the day to help her out with just doing regular daily tasks and helping with our 3-year-old. And I can't always take them because I'm crewing. But then sometimes, we can get them out there for one morning, on a day when, like, definitely not on opening day because it's too hectic. Not on the, usually not on crazy days. But it seems like during the special shapes days, those are the days that we can bring the family, and then I get to hang out. Instead of chasing with the crew, I'll just stay on the field, and we'll go walk around and meet all kinds of different individual pilots, crews, go around collecting these balloon cards that they have. I don't know if you guys know about the trading cards. They're basically like baseball cards, but for balloons. And so most of the balloons either make their own or we'll have them made through the Balloon Fiesta event. So they're official Balloon Fiesta cards. And here, I'll show you in just a moment. I'm going to pull this. We're going to use this balloon here. And we're going to pull a little bit of this glass out right here. You know, it'd be really cool if I had this background. I have this balloon picture here. If I could have that as my background, that'd be pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to take this 16 millimeter rod and we're going to just put the heat on it right here. And we're going to slowly pull. And we're going to stretch this 16 millimeter rod into about a 7 millimeter rod. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching and hanging out. I know most of you are going to be just watching this after it's gone live. I don't really get too many live videos or viewers when I go live, at least not yet. Still growing and building the channel here. So I really do appreciate all your love and support. Anytime that you share out, I really do appreciate it. And anytime that you hit that like button, you know, it really does help out with getting my videos out there to the rest of the world. So I appreciate that as well. And then of course, you know, the more subscribers I get, the more individuals will be coming through. And you know, maybe what we'll do is we'll do a giveaway here. Who have made it through the video so far are the lucky ones. Go ahead and leave a comment below. And just type in flying high. And I'll choose a winner. We'll do a random. We'll get one of those random selectors from online. And we'll do a random selector. We'll add your names in. So those of you who are watching right now, you're the lucky ones. Just type in the comments below, flying high. Flying high. Speaking of, we should do a little smoke session here. Just a moment. My arm's starting to hurt, so I need to give it a little bit of a rest. Those of you who are just tuning into the channel have an arm injury or it's just, you know, old age. It's catching up to me. I've been doing this for 27 years. And, you know, from holding glass like this for so long, you're using this part of your arm or your shoulder and your elbow and everything right there, your forearm, your fingers, spinning everything, that my arm now, it starts to pinch up and lock up. And I don't have anyone who works on me daily or have a therapist that I can get weekly to help fix me and allow me to be able to make things bigger than this, really. If I was holding more weight and doing any items bigger than this, I don't think I'd be able to last for too long. for my arm is really, really bad these days, guys. So I do my best to compensate. Go to my left hand, and then just use the left hand instead, and then that way I can stretch my arm out from time to time and really try to help it. Because if I don't and it locks up, then my fingers start to go numb, and once my fingers go numb, I don't have the full capability. I don't have the feeling. So spinning glass while your fingers are numb, that's not a good combination of things there. Not a good situation to get involved in. I'm going to actually adjust the flame this time. I've been just doing things with a big old flame, like, well, I guess I can make it smaller, make it a little easier on myself. But sometimes it's fun to challenge myself and see, can I work this little tiny piece of glass with this hot raging flame? It's just a personal little game I like to do. Some other glass blowers are probably like, what are you doing, man? Why don't you adjust your flame? But it's a game, I'm just having fun. My job is a game. This is a beautiful game. And I was definitely blessed by Creator with having this God-given talent to be able to use my hands, to use my eyes in a way that I can create something from nothing, or, it's not nothing. This is all creations of God. Everything that was put together in order to create the sand, or to create this glass, all the sand, all the silica, all the boron, all the different elements and things that are put into this glass was all created by God first. So thank you, Creator. Thank you for this God-given talent. Definitely I've learned that and understood that a while ago, and humbled myself in knowing that this ain't all me. Definitely not all me, that's for sure. I give it all. Give all thanks, all gratitude to Creator for all this. Without this, I couldn't be an artist. I couldn't be a singer, performer. I couldn't be doing all the different side jobs and odd and end jobs that I do to help others out, to be in devotion to others. It's truly a blessing. So I give thanks. I feel blessed to know that I'm flying high with Creator. Always, daily, always on that ivory tip. Always just trying to enjoy life as best that I can. Even in the most dire situations, Because right now, times don't look so great for many individuals on this planet, but there is a way to still be happy, to still bring heaven to earth, even when hell seems to have taken over. There's still a way. And all it is just having that connection with Creator, humbling yourself and knowing that you aren't Creator. You aren't creating your own life. You aren't creating your own destiny, your own path. A lot of this has been set forth, and you've been given these different opportunities, multiple, like multiverses. You're given multiple opportunities to do this or to do that, and then God's going to allow you to make mistakes always, so then you can do it again. And He'll give you that opportunity to rise above from your mistake. You can humble yourself. You can, you don't even have to say sorry. All you got to do is just humble yourself and know, I could do better. And then try to do better. And that's it. You don't have You don't gotta do nothing like that because everyone's allowed to make mistakes. Everyone's are allowed certain trespasses. Forgive those who trespass against you as you have trespassed against them. Right? So you know that people make mistakes. We all do. And that's a good thing to humble yourself and just know that Creator always gives you that second opportunity. And third and fourth and fifth until really you just like are done. You give up. You give up so much that you even give up on Creator and all the different chances you've been given. All the different opportunities. So that's the one thing is even in these dire, you know how to bring heaven to earth. You know, if you're in pain and misery, you can still bring heaven to earth. You can still enjoy it as best you can. And try to focus on those things. Because once you start focusing on the negative, it's hard to get away from it. It becomes like a bottomless pit, and it sucks you in, and that darkness overcomes you. It takes you. It takes over you. It becomes you. You become it. Until you truly learn to humble yourself in that way and know that everything's okay. Until you know that. You'll be able to continue to make these hellish issues and situations instead of bringing heaven to earth. So I just give thanks. You know, even though that I can't really do the things that I used to be able to do with glass, I can still do these things, and it's so beautiful. I can still do stuff like this. Look at that. Here's a really awesome piece that I did last time while going live. You can check out that video, seeing how I made that one. It's got a beautiful amber backing, so the amber just shines through, all the way through. Let's see if I can make it shine for you. I don't know if that helps. I'm trying to make it shine for you. But yeah, so that's a beautiful piece that I've made. You know, I'm so grateful that even though my arm is injured, I can still do these things. I can still do certain things that maybe others really can't. And that's a blessing. Hare Krishna. Alright, well, I'm going to do a dab real quick. We might roll one up, take a little bit of a break, drink some water. I don't know if anyone else has joined us just yet. We're an hour in now, guys. It is now 8:30, 8:33. So we're just an hour in, started about 7:30, it's now 8:30. I was trying to get on the church about 6:37 when I first woke up, but I was watching a video actually, the Prepper Princess, Princess Prepper Princess. She's out there in near Vegas, Nevada. She's out in the hot desert right now. And she's actually living it. She's going through the survival mode right now. So I don't know exactly which town she is from and where she lives exactly, but she said that her entire town, she was doing a video on using her jackery, which is a portable portable thing. I have one just right down here. It's a portable power unit generator. So this right here is 500 watt. This thing will charge up your phones. It'll power up a few smaller appliances, things like that. Different tools, but nothing big. It's 500 watt. It can't do anything like the one that she was testing was like either the 2000 or 3000 Jackery. I think it was a Jackery 2000. And as she was doing the product review, power went out on her. Like literally went down in her town. The whole entire county, like all the counties went down. And everyone was scrambling. All her neighbors were like trying to figure out what to do. And she was in her home, just chilling with the TV on. She had internet. She's had her refrigerator still powered up and plugged on. She had a fan going to try to keep herself cool. But we're talking about in the sweltering heats of like 100 and I think we're like, I don't know, 110, 115 degrees at that time. It was really hot there where she's at near Las Vegas, Nevada. And so I was just watching that pepper video a moment ago. And so that's why I didn't go live right away. I was watching that. I was getting things all prepared. I was actually pulling points here, getting all these colors ready. So I was just melting rather than pulling them, getting them stretched out, which I need to do a few more points, but I kind of do want to take a smoke break. So yeah, so I'm just going to peel this off right here. This is the paper that's on the glass crutch. So, I don't know, those of you who are into it, we use glass crutches here for rolling. They're really, really nice. One thing that I was thinking about was I could put a piece of cotton up in there and it would work like a cigarette filter. And it would actually hold back any of this gunk from going, for just helping out, holding this stuff back. But that's what water pipes are for, so you can filter this stuff out into the water. And I've made a contraption where you can actually hook up one of these to a water system and yeah, it works really well. Give me a moment. I'm going to go step away real quick. It would be really cool if I could get that picture up here. I'm kind of worried that I'll bump it and it'll fall. We got too many things going on back here. Or maybe I'll show you it. Here, I'm gonna set this right here for a minute. Will that stay? Alright, there you go. There's some balloons. Alright, so this is a pretty cool picture that I got. I don't remember if it was gifted to me or if I got it at a yard sale, or I think this was gifted to me. Someone gave me this. And it's really cool because it's got all these different locations in Albuquerque. This is actually the city of Albuquerque. There's like the fairgrounds are over here. You've got the tall building here that's on Central and San Mateo. This is Central at Route 66, which then curves around out that way somewhere. You've got the District Bar and Grill. That used to be downtown. So this is all the downtown area. Rally's Sports Bar and Grill, or Rally's Street Pub and Grill. That's what they were called. So I worked here at the district, worked here at Rally's, and put together a lot of shows there. Tucano's, that used to be a place that we would get food sponsored for our events down at the El Rey Theater. I don't know if the El Rey is in here from a long time ago before it burnt down. That'd be kind of cool. There's Tucano's. So then El Rey would be like kind of towards the district, Chemo Theater. So I guess they didn't include the El Rey or Golden West or anything like that. That might be that church. Lindy's. So yeah, it would be like somewhere up in here. I guess they didn't include it. But yeah, it's really cool to see all these different things. I don't remember what year this was made. I might be able to see 2005 by Lee Flow. Lee Flows. I don't know what that name is, but yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. Let's see, 2005 National Advertising Services. Maps Made Easy. Yeah, there's so many different things going on in this picture. It's really cool. I wish I could just set it up back here, but then I'm worried that I'll accidentally knock it. You can see it there anyway. I can't put it down back below me because then it will be on the kiln and that kiln's hot. So we just put it back down. Maybe eventually I'll have it on the back wall there behind us somewhere. But then look, all you can see is the junk. I got my bike here with all of my extra tubes. Well, let's see, what do we got? We got a broken longboard, skateboard. I don't know why I got the trucks on it still. We've got this. This is the heat, the spot heater for making t-shirts. We got the t-shirt press behind us. We got this thing just getting piled up more and more. We got that bag of, what's this bag of tricks? Oh, sawdust. It's always good to have in a flammable environment. Paper. I don't know what's in there. There's that stuff piled up right there. We got my daughter's knee pads, elbow pad. When she wants to go riding. She's been learning how to skate and into roller skating. So yeah, this is a nice storage room here that I work in. But I'm grateful. I'm very grateful that I have this. At least I have a place to work. I don't have to go to an office every day. I'm very grateful for that. Grateful I don't have to go clock in 9 to 5, be forced away from my family every day. It's not the life. It's not the way we're supposed to be living. We're supposed to be communal, have community, and have family. You know, if we can't even be around our families for the day, how are we supposed to even try to start building communities? Yeah, almost impossible. Almost. Everything is possible. Just it's almost impossible. We just need more like-minded individuals who want this as well. Come together. Come together right now. Let's smoke some weed. All right. So those of you who don't know, I'm also a singer, vocalist, musician, play guitar. My guitar is not in here, but I do have an amp. So sometimes, from time to time, we will go live and just play some music here. So I haven't done that in a long time. So right from the glass studio right here, go live. I need to clean this up though. I need to get rid of some of these bikes. Or get them in storage somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. I've been thinking about building a little tiny shed out back to just put things in. They don't really have the space. Ah, I see the big old or the big old trail, airplane trail left in the sky, aerosol canvassing starting today. Lots of cloud cover, but the clouds are spotty. Like something's breaking them up. So, uh, yeah, looks like we're gonna have a lot of overcast today due to those trails breaking up the clouds. It's always fun. It's always great to be able to breathe in some stuff that we're not supposed to be. It's wonderful. It just speaks like that. Those of you who don't know, I'm quite sarcastic from time to time. But I appreciate you sticking around. If you are here still, or you just tuned in for some reason, make sure that you comment below. Flying high. But flying high for your chance to win one of these beautiful glass hot air balloons. So I'd like to make some special ones. I've just been doing some generic ones for now. But maybe we'll get into making something a little bit more trickier, a little more special right now. Maybe we'll pull out a card and we'll replicate something. So I do balloon replicas. I can replicate balloons. Not all, but most. I can replicate most hot air balloons that have been designed, special shapes. You know, the tricky part is matching the colors. And then if you have too many panels and a lot of points, you know, like there's some balloons that just, they look like they got a stripe going down it, you know, or around it or whatever. Solid colors with a solid stripe around the middle or something, you know. Like this one here, this one is red with a blue stripe on it, and it has a yellow fringe that wraps around the bottom. But that blue is very dark, and you can only tell that it's blue when it gets close to that light. Let's see if we can make it blue for you. There you go. It's kind of blue. It's a translucent blue. So that's the thing, is this you can do the solid reds and then a blue stripe, and then you see that little yellow fringe going around it. This one actually broke. It doesn't have a loop anymore, so I've learned how to attach the loops a little bit better. So we're just working on some hot air balloons right now. Those of you who are tuning in, I'm taking a quick little 420 break. It's 8:40 though, so my dyslexia is way off. But thanks for tuning in and watching. I see we got at least another individual. I'm Dan the Glassman, and this is the Glassman's World. And I've been a glassblower since '95, 27 years, so thanks for tuning in. We're about to get started. We're making these here. So if you're just joining us, these are some of the hot air balloons that I've been working on. It's just some real simple colors, two color patterns, you know, so I just get two different colors. I also make things like these. A lot of people, this is one of the first things that I started making, the mushroom pendants, but then I figured out how to add color to them. So this has a little bit of a black ring on it with that red, so it really makes it pop. And what else was I just showing? Oh, this beautiful honeycomb-like pattern that I made last time that we went live. So in the last live glass point video, you can see me making this beautiful amber honeycomb pendants, that solid amber on the back, and then that fuming, you can see it pops up. It's like 3D, it's an implosion. So you can see them dots and how they pop up from the side view. But then from head on, it looks beautiful like that. So thank you for tuning in and watching. I'm gonna just add a little bit of some wax, little dabs to this real quick. What I found is that you don't need much for this to really, really drip down and get around everything. And it's recreational here in New Mexico, so just if you're wondering, or if you'd like to just join me and partake wherever you're at, I don't mind. It's 4:20 right now. It's actually 8:51 in the morning here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So we had someone watching, and then they ran away without saying hi. But it's okay. But I know that a lot of you individuals will be watching. That individual did not get to hear, so just go on ahead and comment below. When you comment below, flying high. Alright, so we're just resting the arm real quick. Stretching out up here, the trapezius. You got your deltoid. And then the bicep, the tricep, your rotator and your forearm. Like all of that is just jacked up, man. It's just so locked up. Man. So I was just informed last night when I got back that yesterday was our event we were supposed to go to. We paid $50 to get into an event, but I don't know. My wife paid the money after our car broke down, and I was like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it there. Our car just broke down. I just told you the car broke down. All right. So there's $50. Maybe we could get it refunded since we weren't there, but I don't know. I guess once it's in, it's in. I don't know if we ever called them and let them know we had car issues. Maybe what they can do is they can carry our fee on to the next event. Maybe they can honor that. That would be really cool if they could do that. So I'll ask my wife to get a hold of them. All right, let's get started again. So that individual who came in for a moment was not patient enough. So sorry you missed out. Let's get started again here. Oh, hold on. I got purple, green, blue. Do I have a dark cobalt? Okay, we might be able to do that one. I've got to do that one. All right. So out of this pile, we're going to choose the easier one. We're going to go with this one right here first. So then I'm going to have to try to see if I have all the colors to pull off that other one. I don't know if I have all those colors or not. Okay. We're going to try it. Almost. Yeah, kind of. It's that reflection. All right, you guys. So I'm making this balloon right here. This balloon is known as Tommy Lift. Tom Keller from Box Elder, South Dakota. So we're replicating a balloon from South Dakota, guys. I didn't really study it too well yet. Okay, you got purple in the middle stripe with the blue on top, green and under. You have a red stripe on the other side with a pink on top and orange on. Okay, I don't know if we have pink. Do we have pink? We might have pink. So right now I'm just rounding it up and getting the clear rod here, the 16 millimeter rod, into the balloon shape. So 16 mil, that's about what, 3/4 inch? I know a 25/4 is 1 inch, so 12/7 I think is a 1/2 inch. All right, so now we got that rounded up just like that. Woo! It got bright. Well, we're gonna grab this. It's the closest that we got to pink, which is a salmon. So I think that's the best that I can do right here. I'm just gonna flash this in the flame, and I'm gonna pull it. I don't know if I have all the other colors yet. I think I've got a red. Might have to pull. I've got an orange. I've got a purple and a blue and a green. And then everything else on it is yellow. Alright, so we got that heated up. Sometimes these colors will pop and crack. Will crack and then pop or whatever. And it'll explode off on you. So I'm just using this glass as a handle. So that way I can pull onto this, stretch out this pink color here. Alright, now it's set up. It'll just snap off. It's not stuck together. You can see that. And let's try to just stretch out this tip a little bit better. Alright. So now, we got that pink. Make sure the red is ready. I know I have the red. There it is. Okay, what kind of red is it? Is it a dark red? Bright red? More like a bright red. Right, and this is the cherry, which I like the cherry as well. We'll do that again. We'll just use this to pull the color. So this is just like a stick and pull kind of technique. Instead of using, I don't want to set this down. I'm trying to just keep it warm so we can just add the colors to it right away. But I could just pull it with the tweezers as well. So this works just the same. And sometimes that happens, but it's already been pulled to the point that I need. I don't need much more than that. We can go in and pull that end a little bit more, just because it is thicker. Alright. Okay, so we got the red, we got the pink, we got the orange, blue, green. Alright, which blue am I using though? Probably go with the darker blue, right? Go with this blue here. I'll pull this one out. I have another cobalt, but that one's lighter. I want the darker cobalt. And now we'll go with this one here. Pull it. And once it's at that point, it's like you can't really pull anymore. You gotta do it quick though, so I can thin it out. So that's awesome. I love how that works. Okay. Alright, I gotta move this so I can actually look at it here. We want to make sure that we stripe it in the right way. Okay, perfect. So we're going to start from the bottom, work our way up. We're going to start with the purple first. We're going to try to heat that up a little bit better. Alright, so we got the purple down, blue on top of the purple. Green under the purple. Might have been easier to start with the greens. So with the undercolor. Yeah. I just messed up that line work a little bit. That was smoothest right there, I'll tell you what. Alright, I was able to move it over a little bit. Okay, so let's just start from the bottom color, which is orange, and work our way for this next row of colors. Okay, there's the orange and the red is on top. I can see the line a lot easier from this angle than trying to go underneath that line. So drawing this is right next to it, right on top of it. This gives me so much more control. Alright, and then that pink or salmon. Alright, and now the rest of it, everything in between, is all yellow. Just going to fill in all the rest of that empty space there with the yellow. You know what might have been easier now that I'm thinking about it is doing these lines straight and then going in and twisting it up. So then all the lines basically start straight. But then I go in and twist up the whole thing so it makes it just a little bit different. Now these lines aren't all touching just right. I have to move them over. It would have been easier to just draw these lines straight down and then twist them up. So we're going to do a second attempt after this, guys. I'm just going to do that. But we'll see how this one turns out. Now just connecting the lines and making sure empty space. Right. I'm going to pull off the top of the tip. And so then what might happen is I'll find this balloon out there on the field and I'll be like, hey, I made your balloon this year. Wow, that's awesome. How much do you want for it? And just like that, I'll have a cell ready to go. Because they really love it, you know, to be able to, because when you're at Balloon Fiesta, there's so many different souvenirs and keepsakes and memorabilia. And when you can find something with your own balloon on it, like this year, Polar Dawn balloon, the one that I'll be crewing with, and we'll be going live all week. I'll be bringing that to you guys. This is the one we're working on right now. Wish I had a little holder we could just like set it up right there, right? But this is the balloon. Well, do I might have a little thing that my wife has for her cards I could find. I don't know if I can find it right now. Look, I can put it right there. And then And I set this up. You can put this up here. Definitely not that way. Alright, that's probably the best I can bring you there. That's pretty cool. That works. Right, so I think that looks good. I'm waiting for the video and I'm watching to catch up. There we go. Oh yeah, and then what color is that skirt on the bottom? Blue. Okay, they got a dark blue skirt on the bottom. Okay. So now it's got all this color added onto it. Takes a little bit longer to melt it down and get it into that shaping instead of just adding two simple lines of color. As you can see, it's a lot more thicker. It takes more heat for that flame to penetrate into that color glass and then into the center of it as well. So then the whole thing becomes molten. And we can get that nice balloon shape in here in just a moment. Cool, so this is the first time ever of setting it up like this and having it there and being able to show you guys actually replicating a balloon instead of and then of course I knew that was going to happen. Instead of, here let me try to set that in a little bit better of a place. Let's see, does that work? No, that's not high enough. Okay, well, as I was saying that, I was going to try to round this down a little bit. Use my left hand here to work on helping out this color here. I'm going to try to bring down this point, round it down without flattening it. Alright, so now basically all the color has been melted down nice and rounded. Let me see if I can set you guys up. I'm gonna build a platform with baking soda. I don't think baking soda is highly explosive or flammable. We'll soon find out. Yeah. You won't put any heat on that box. Right. Now where'd the card go? Oh, there it is. We need the holder in here. There we go. Just slide this over. There we go. How's that for some finagling? Okay. There we go with the baking soda box contraption. We got the gap holder. That works. Works for me. Hope it works for you. I know, it's so ghetto, right? I can hear you guys now. Man, that is so ghetto. Go get yourself a holder. It's alright, it's working. Alright, so I'm still just rounding this out a little bit. These custom ones, they do take a lot longer than making those other ones, as you can see now, the difference. And right now, all I'm doing is I'm simply just trying to round it up some to get those colors to kind of all melt together. See how that looks now. There's a couple little like impressions or little indentions in there that I'm trying to round up on the side. And if you see that little wobble pattern that I do, that motion I make with the paddle, but that kind of helps to round it with a flat surface. It's weird, but it works. You just kind of round it out and then just let it wobble right on top of that area, and it helps to round it out. It doesn't flatten, it just rounds it. Wobble, wobble. Right. Now that we're done getting all wobbly. And then you can see how the panels, they have that more squarish or box-like pattern. I can't do that. All I can do is make a stripe of color around, so it's not going to look all box-shaped, all pixelated. So that is the one difference is, you know, they are replicas, but they aren't, well, I try to replicate as best as I can, but they're not like to scale or anything like that. I guess you call it more of a rendition than a replication, because replicating means identical, right? So I know some of you guys are very technical with your terms, calling people out. So yeah, let's not say it's a replica, but a rendition of that balloon. So this is a gardenia glass rendition of this cool balloon here. All right. So now we got it all rounded. We're going to add this the ribbing to it to give it that authentic hot air balloon look.